In the weeks leading up to the release of Disney's live-action race-swap Little Mermaid, we heard the same thing over and over and over again. All of the backlash, it's just from bigots out there. It's from racists. And then, of course, they doubled down on that after a disappointing opening weekend when the domestic numbers came in less than they projected. And internationally, this movie started to tank. Even had headlines like this as early as Sunday. The Little Mermaid splashes to $164 million global bow, but there's something fishy overseas as Disney pick beset by review bombing. And they go on and complain that there's just racists out there that are review bombing this thing. There's racists out there that are giving it bad scores on IMDb, on Rotten Tomatoes, everywhere. You even saw IMDb change its rating system, where have we seen this before, to protect The Little Mermaid when they said, we see a lot of unusual activity, so we're just not going to count all the negative activity. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? We heard it called ratings terrorism. If you give this a bad review, if you say this movie was bad, you're a terrorist. That's what they're trying to equate people to at this point. It's laughable. It's ridiculous. Well, all of the sudden, with this weekend done, with Miles Morales Across the Spider-Verse released and having a massive weekend, $120 million opening, well, far and away above what we saw from The Little Mermaid, not just in its 3-day weekend, but also its extended holiday weekend. Is that same energy going to be there? Is that same blaming the fans, calling the fans racist if you review bomb something? Is that going to be there? Because obviously a movie starring Black Miles Morales, that's got to do it, right? That's going to bring the racist out in droves. They're going to go and review bomb the hell out of this, right? That's what the media has been telling us for months and in the past week since Little Mermaid released. Funny, it doesn't seem to be the case. Now, when you go to the audience score for Across the Spider-Verse, obviously the verified audience score right up there with Little Mermaid, but the all audience score is the same. All audience score right at 96%, just like the verified audience score. That's funny, isn't it? Because what did we see for Little Mermaid? Of course, we saw that all audience score was way down there in the 57% range. But what about Metacritic? I bet, just like Little Mermaid got review bombed on Metacritic, I'm sure that the same thing's going to happen for Into the Spider-Verse, right? Because the mainstream media are saying the racists are out there review bombing these things. 2.2 for Little Mermaid. What is it for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? Oh, 8.4. That's weird. How can this possibly be the case? How can Across the Spider-Verse possibly not be getting review bombed? Was it because we didn't get the memo? Was it because people didn't know that you're supposed to hate on this movie? They didn't send the notes out to everybody in time? Or are they just simply out of racism? Did they only have enough racism for one review bomb every month? So we got to wait. We got to let it build back up again. The truth is, this is stupid and laughable. It was never, it's just racist or review bombing something. They just can't handle it when something that they want to push, that's something that they're pushing out there, when it fails. And that's what Little Mermaid is doing. Not just when it comes to the audience reaction, but also when it comes to the box office. They can't stand it. They'll make up any excuse they can, and they'll try to blame the fans. That's what they did. That's what they've been doing for months. You knew it was going to happen if this movie started out this way. And to no one's surprise, it was. Immediately, that's where they turned to racist, toxic fans. Those very same fans, in theory, would be coming out for the Miles Morales Across the Spider-Verse movie. But somehow, they didn't show up. The mainstream media's entire argument, their entire defense that they've been running for this has fallen apart. They are pathetic. They're going to do everything they can to protect this movie, but already they look like massive hypocrites.